Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask Rick Henderson and Rob Schofield. Carolina Journal recently wrote a piece on what they call the high-grade high schools, saying that grade inflation is real and increasingly A is for average. The story said that it isn't that students are smarter than they have been in the past or that teachers are getting more, teaching better, it's that they're grading more leniently. Do you agree with this piece? And if so, why do we have grade inflation in high schools? Rob Schofield?
Maybe. I sort of feel like this is a little bit of an old man saying, get off my lawn story. Everybody thinks that that was so great back in their day and that things, there wasn't grade inflation. Maybe there's a little. If there is grade inflation right now, I'd say it's probably because of the pressure cooker that we have put our teachers in, because we've slashed funding.
And
our
their
kids,
parents.
the insane competition. Yeah. I mean, I've raised a couple of girls who went through Enloe High School in Raleigh and watched the insane competition and the pressure that they felt, sleepless nights. And I think there's an awful lot of pressure on people to succeed. We've got a have and have not society now where people feel that if they don't get that best college, they don't get that best job, they're really going to be in trouble.
And they got to get that best grade in order to be able to do it.
And the parents put pressure on the teachers too.
Rick, this was your publication that wrote this. You're going to defend easy A's?
Well, absolutely, because the article by Kristen Blair was about a study from the Fordham Institute, which looked at North Carolina students from 2005 to 2016, and found that yes, that A is now the most common grade, and in fact, sometimes over half students get A's in high school, and so this is an issue that is a problem. Now, there are all sorts of reasons why this may be happening. I think actually Rob cited some of them. There's an intense amount of pressure being placed on teachers by parents who actually don't want their kids to perceive to have failed, even if they haven't mastered their subject matter.
Are they putting that same amount of pressure on their kids to do better and study more?
I think there's some of that, but maybe not as much. What was very interesting in this Fordham Institute study, though, was that grade inflation was most pronounced among upper income families.
Interesting.
That lower income families did not have, not only did their kids not make as high a grades, but that the inflation levels were lower. Now, maybe that's because lower income parents are expecting their kids to do a lot better and aren't going to accept this sort of thing.
Or maybe are not as vocal in advocating for their
There's
children.
both of those things enter into it, and I think the problem here is that if you go to some sort of sets of mastery of subject and you look at what's going on, you're finding out that the kids have more access to more information than ever, but they may not be processing it as well as they could.
Yeah, we've known that this grading easy A phenomenon in colleges has been around for quite a long time. So far as it goes, doesn't it mean that grades are becoming sort of useless?
Well, I don't know about that. I think what it means is that we've got to take our education system more seriously. We've slashed funding for public education in North Carolina over the last decade. It's down 7 or 8%. There's more pressure on teachers with less resources. I mean, it just sort of stands to figure that the affluent parents who can, the squeaky wheel is going to get this better result. I don't know that it means that grades are meaningless, but it does mean that we need to put some work into it.
What is the conclusion that this study comes to, Rick? What are they saying we ought to do about it?
Well, the basic conclusion the study comes to is that you ought to look at alternatives to basic grading for everything, because grade point average still is a very good indicator of success in college, but that relationship is starting to erode.
But if everybody's getting an A, then GPA doesn't mean anything.
That's what they're saying, is that relationship is starting to erode, and that's something to be really concerned about.
Well, we grade you, our viewers, with A's with no problem, and we thank you for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.